Hello and welcome to Reinfused. Today, well, you may have seen an unboxing we did earlier in the week. As I record this, it was earlier in the week, so hopefully this comes out. It should do. This should be the next video out, so yeah, okay. No, it won't be. It'll be a week. Anyway, we did a video on unboxing this MSX one here, this rather lovely Pioneer model, and I said that there was another component to come to make before I make a video on this. Well, that component, weirdly enough, came the same day, and so we kind of we get to make the video now, which is great. Now we have done systems that use LaserDisc before with the LaserActive. But I think this is kind of another cool take on it by trying to get this kind of LaserDisc technology to work in home. And I think it's a fascinating piece of technology. Hopefully you do as well. Now that thing has now arrived, and that is this here Pioneer LaserDisc Player. And yeah, so obviously, LaserVision Player. It's an earlier branding of the thing, slight differences, but that's out of the scope of this anyway. So yes, why we're doing this is, as I probably said on the intro, I haven't done the intro yet, I probably will say this though, other than the kind of standard ways of loading software, there was also the ability to use LaserDisc. And obviously, much like we've covered the LaserActive player, which was kind of doing this the other way around, where it was a LaserDisc player that had the ability to have modules in to let it play games, but those games could also interact with some LaserDisc things. So there were LaserDisc games that were specially encoded for those machines, so Mega Drive and PC Engine. Whereas this is obviously an MSX computer connected to a LaserDisc player to do much the same thing, to be fair. And I think if you watched my video on LaserActive and saw the quality of the games, you're not going to be too surprised by what you see. But anyway, well, actually, we've only got, to be fair to it, we've only got one game, which is this one. There may be better ones, who knows. I'm going to try and get some, and I might cover them if there's anything surprising. So this thing only kind of works, so there's very specific hardware you need to get this thing to work. It will only work with certain LaserDisc players, mostly ones made by Pioneer or Sony, and Denon as well, but I think they were basically Pioneer at that point, or something like that anyway. I know that they rebadged certain machines. And as far as I'm aware, there are only NTSC games released as well, although PAL LaserDisc players could generally play LaserDisc, could generally play NTSC discs, so maybe they would work, I don't know. And it only worked with certain MSX machines, or there were two add-ons, one by Sony and one by, this has got loads of dust on it since I moved up here, never mind. One by Sony and one by Pioneer, which would allow other LaserDisc players to also work. So yeah, if you go to, I'll put the link into the kind of, there's an MSX resource that I got a lot of this information from, and they've got like a whole list of all the things you need, if you do for some reason want to do this. Yeah, I'll put that below. So much dust. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, this fancy, almost hi-fi looking setup will allow us to play this LaserDisc title. So what we have to do is just connect these two together. I've already done that, but I'll try to do some footage from behind using my probably my phone, to be honest, and we'll just try and show you where that cable is. Okay, so we're around the back of the MSX, and we will see that there's that cable there, that DIN plug there, and down here on the actual LaserDisc player, there is the corresponding DIN plug. Right, the LaserDisc player is also connected via these component cables to the composite cable, to the MSX, and you have to make sure you get these ones around the right way, the audio cables, because the game, well, you know what, I'll explain that as I go along, but it's important. What we will do is we will connect this up to our recording system, and we will show the footage. Right, I will go into a little bit of some of the other features of this as well, because it's quite an interesting one, because this was built with this in mind. It's got a few features, but anyway, let's just turn it on, and hopefully the Right, so there we go. That's the menu that pops up. And you'll see we've got two options there. We've got MSX Basic, or the first one, which is MSX Basic, and P Basic. So P Basic is Pioneer Basic. And it includes some extra features to do with LaserDiscs, basically. So this can do kind of cool things. You can play LaserDisc through this, and you can overlay stuff on it. I did a picture on Twitter where I overlaid Hello World across a copy of the Producers, which was kind of cool. And you can just completely play through as well. So if you're doing something on the computer but you want to watch the LaserDisc, you can push this button in and it will just show the LaserDisc and the computer will keep running in the background, which is all very cool. But for us, we just want to do one to load up P Basic. There we go. Now what we want to do is we want to load up this this disc. So yeah, hit that button. Okay, turn it on. And then hit that button. There we are. So, if you've never seen LaserDisc before, by the way, I can see why people collect them. I really can. Because they are gorgeous. Just the artwork on the boxes and just the size of those. Right. This tells us it's only been recorded on the other side, so we know we have to turn it over. And then we can gently, very gently, place this in here. And then shut that. So there we go. We have loaded the game. And now we use one of the special features on here called LD. So we can call LD. Now what this will do is it will load up the game data from the LaserDisc itself from one of the audio channels. So much like how audio like tapes used to be used to load games, and also like you used to be able to get records and things that had software on them, like vinyl records. Much like that, we're going to be using the audio track on this LaserDisc to actually load software. If you get it the wrong way around, it doesn't work, and because it doesn't have the right audio track. So that's why you have to get those cables in the correct way, because it only loads the audio from the left channel. So we'll do our call LD, press return. That will now start up the LaserDisc player. Probably hear that. It's nice and loud, reassuringly loud. And then if we watch the screen, it will start playing video. There we go. And you can also see it says found strike. So that's it loading the actual data from that audio track. Right, now I would probably either have skipped a lot of that or hopefully sped it up, because there is interesting video. Yeah, because even though it's coming from LaserDisc, it's still loading at audio speed, so it takes us long to load. Now here we have our first menu, and you can see we can control it with the joystick. Now this is the difficulty. Now Turkey, I don't know why it's called Turkey, but that's a hard difficulty. So we want to do. Oh, it's loading something up. Hold on. Yeah, the screen will go black when it loads up a new bit of footage, and you have to wait for it to come back. So once it finds the next bit of video. There we go, now we can choose. Right, so we'll go with Novice, obviously. Now what I've just done there is most of this game. That's basically what most of the game entails, is just choosing things from menus. There is a bit more to it than that, which we'll get to. Right, so here we go. Now we get to set up our mission, and there is a bit of strategy to this as well. So we get to choose. So here we go. It needs to load up the video again. There we go. We get to choose what we're going to go for. We'll go for something relatively close. So we go here and it will tell us what it is. Apparently we're going to blow up a traffic junction. Fair enough. now we have to choose our loadout. This is quite important because there's fuel, there's different types of weapons. Now we're attacking something that's on the ground, so we're going to need bombs. We should buy the Vulcan, that's the cannon, because we may be attacked by other planes, so we'll definitely take a Vulcan. Probably won't bother with missiles because, why would we? We've only got a certain amount of credits as well, so we'll get the bomblets. There we go. You see, it updates your loadout at the bottom as well. Can't afford any of that. We'll get some fuel, because we may as well. It's only cheap. And you need obviously fuel to get there and also to get back. So, I don't know what PGM is, but we may as well buy it. Why not? We've got some money left. And you know what? We'll buy another Vulcan just in case we're attacked by more than one plane. Oh, I think we did that. Did we do that? I think we did that. Try again. Come on. There we go. Don't need to change anything. Maybe we can only have one Vulcan then. Maybe that's infinite. Yeah, it's a bit laggy as well. Okay, so that's our loadout done. We're going to load up. It doesn't take a terribly long time, to be honest. And it's quite interesting, of course, because the MSX is finding the right frame for it to load. Right, so now we get to choose like how we're going to do this. So I think we're probably going to go low altitude because we're bombing something, and we may as well go medium speed. So we'll get there reasonably fast, but we're not going to have to worry about hitting a ground target too quickly. I don't know how much of this strategy really plays into it. It doesn't seem to play into it that much. Okay, so now we've done all that, we can now go to takeoff, and it will now load us into the game. Yeah, okay, so the game. There we go, a nice video of us taking off. Right, so there we go, we can see this is video with all of the MSX is displaying all this stuff on top. We can take a look at different things. There's no enemy fighters nearby. We can change our speed and what have you, right? So yeah, so every now and again it will then just load up a new piece of video or loop an existing one of the two. So if we go to radar will tell us where we are in relation to our target and if there's any enemy fighters on the thing, so we can see where the O, B is our base, and we can see where the target is. We're still quite a way away. Okay, you can see on the bottom, obviously our fuel, how much we've got left. I think the red is our reserve tank, maybe. We've got a damage meter because you can be shot by planes, and the distance to our target and the current speed we're doing. Yeah, every time the HUD starts to disappear, that means it's about to load up a new bit of video or loop a previous one, which of course happens a lot because it can't afford that much video. Next update should take us. Yeah, we're almost there now. Here we go, target approaching. So now this will change. And here we go, now we get the kind of the game part of it. So we get to choose what we use. Now obviously we're going to use PGM. Can we use PGM? I don't know what PGM is, I just chose it randomly. Something guided missile maybe? Right, so now we have to shoot these targets on the ground as they sweep by. There we go. I think we hit something. So we get a brief video of something blowing up, and now we get to try either retry the bombing or return to base. So let's return to base, and that was basically the game. It's not too excessive, no. It's it's not a huge amount there. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, we're going to get the second part of the game now, which is I don't think we've got any missiles. I decided not to get missiles, didn't I? That may have been a foolish decision. Okay, so I've got no missiles. So basically now what will happen is, if you had missiles, you can shoot them at the planes. Basically you just have to wait until you're close to the plane. You can use the radar to work out how far away you are from it. If we go to the radar now, there we go, we can see that X. It's pretty close to us, so it's about to come in. Now if we're lucky, we'll get the second kind of part of this game. It says incoming. We may miss it. It's effectively a similar form to the bombing run. Oh, is it going to come? There we go. So now we're going to get kind of the second half of this game. Eventually. Is it going to get there? You can outrun it. It is possible to outrun them, so maybe we're going to do that. See, we've only got 384 units of distance until we get back to base. Oh! Right, so there we go. So now we have to get over the plane, and once we're over the plane, then we can fire. Oh! What happened? Did our damage meter go up? Oh, I think, did we shoot the plane? Hard to say, I'm not seeing all the video. Well, we didn't get any damage, so I'm guessing we got the plane then, did we? We're almost back at base anyway, so we'll get to see the landing. There we are. So now we get a nice landing video. Safely back at base. Oh, okay, I completely missed the target. How much you destroy the target is how many points, extra points you get. I got some points there. So effectively now we just keep redoing it and attacking targets and getting more money until eventually you can buy all the good equipment, effectively. And that's it. That's the game. It's not massively impressive, but it is kind of cool. I especially like it. The whole system for controlling LaserDisc, I think it's amazing. I really do like it. There's a whole extra part of the basic language that's been added in to add keywords in for fast forwarding, rewinding, and showing text over the top of LaserDisc and stuff, and jumping to frames. And yeah, it's all really, really good. And I can see it would have been useful if you were doing gen locking as well, and trying to put text over stuff. And we can see how well it worked with the game. So the game isn't great, but the technical stuff behind it is pretty cool. I enjoy it anyway. It's a lovely setup. It's a nice machine, and they kind of look good. It's a shame I couldn't find a silver compatible player, really, but this still looks pretty good, I think. Right. Anyway, I think we'll wrap up. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's not the best game in the world. I do want to get hold of some of the others, and me and Ralph are going to try to get hold of them. But it's a cool bit of technology still. I love the way that they try to kind of go outside the box to get this stuff working and use the available media. It's just fascinating. I mean, we see these kind of things a lot in the arcades, like Dragon's Lair and stuff. Obviously, it was all LaserDisc. But it is kind of fascinating they try to get this working at home like this as well. It's just a cool bit of tech. Anyway, if you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video or you have something else to say, then please leave it in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
The present is horrible. The future looks bleak. Remember our childhood to get us through the week. We're getting re-enthused. Back to the past and the things we used. We all know that our pasts were great. Escaping the things that today we hate. Getting re-enthused. Getting re-enthused. Getting re-enthused. Getting re-enthused.